I think that still goes back to speaking to personal experiences and what people have gone through or seen in their life. That's just like saying that if somebody saw their mother deal with a man that cheated on them all the time, but they've been in a 25, 30-year relationship, that's how they view a good relationship. That's how they view a commitment. That's how they view long term. And so we can't dictate how people perceive their own emotions and how they, how they react to them. And my last point on this before Trust speaks is we are talking about getting married at a young age, and we're talking about statistics, and we're talking about data. So I did the due diligence to go and look up on NIH.gov the statistics, and it shows that studies have found that younger couples, especially those married in their early into mid 20s, have a higher likelihood of divorce compared to those who marry later on in life. And that speaks to the perspective that regardless of your experience or regardless of how good your relationship might be, that might not be the case for everybody else. And then we also don't know how that can affect somebody long term in their relationship long term. So
Well,
go ahead, Trev.
So,
the
all right,
reason
Oh,
why
go
that's
hold on, Sweeney. Hold on a second, Sweeney. All right, so, Casey, you just read something off, but that's only part of it, right? So, there's a couple places, the University of Utah, there's Pew Research, and there's a few places, and what they
yeah, I
refer
read from
to is
NIH.gov.
gotcha. So there's what they call a Goldilocks zone, right? And the first part of it is absolutely correct. If you were to marry in your early 20s, then yes, you are likely to divorce higher than as if you didn't. But there's also data that shows if you are married after 35, then you also have a higher risk of getting divorced than if you would. So the Goldilocks zone is technically late 20s to early 30s, and that's it. So that's if you're talking about that. If it goes way higher on either side of the spectrum, if you get married younger or older, so you'll get the same result. So either way, you're still within your late 20s, early 30s. So that's that
Right.
part of it. But
So,
one of
go
the
ahead,
main things
Trev.
I wanted to say is that it's almost like when we were watching a lady sitting in a car earlier in the video, and she just had no clue. She was so desperate she wanted to ask white women what was up. It's like but the men could pick apart what was wrong with her, right? We could see like, ugh, yeah, I could see what's up with her. Like we already know, like, yeah, she gonna lose. We see the same thing in the rhetoric uh, a lot of times on these panels, and the results that you yield are pretty much matching the demeanor in most cases. Unfortunately, that's just how it is. People who were typically married speak one way and have likely spoken that way prior to marriage, and people who aren't have a different idea. But a lot of them sound the same, at least to us men on the panel. Or I won't even include the other guys if they don't want to be, but I'll say myself. To me, uh, pretty much sound the same. Most of the women who are not married say the same things. They say, yo, you should wait. I'm worried about my career. Or why do you think that's going to work for me? There's been things like this has been going on for decades now. Like it's been tested. We know what works. We know what doesn't. We know what attracts men. We know what doesn't. It's simple. Men articulate what it is that they want and what they expect. Women want to get with these men, but are not able to compete or willing to compete or fulfill what this man is asking for. So, how is it that you're going to get the result of marriage when you're not willing to do it and you want to play by your rules when it's actually competitive? That doesn't work.
I agree, Trev. I know this is very competitive out here. Trust me. I agree 100%. That's why I embrace the pain because it's a lesson learned behind every situation that don't go right as long as I'm taking accountability. So that's my advice to y'all. Y'all ladies that's going out there and deciding like because when most women say I'm putting my job first, in reality, I think that's our way of protecting ourselves, just like men do with choosing not to settle down knowing damn well he want a wife. Because once that woman don't be that, you be trying to dog out. You feel me? But I do think that's a way that women try to protect themselves is with their careers
So
sometimes.
let me
Not
ask you. So
all
let me
women.
ask you
I
then,
I
Dot.
don't
Could
think
I
that
ask
was
you then,
most
Dot?
women. Yeah, go
So
ahead.
let me ask you this, Dot. That method. Do you think it's useful, or do you think it's more to women's detriment?
I think it's just it depends. It depends. I think if a woman is stable,
Really?
then I feel like if a woman is stable, it's detriment. If I mean, if it's stable, it's detriment to her. But if she's not stable, I don't think that I don't think that's a good idea. I don't think that's a good.
Um, I I think it can be very beneficial to your relationship. I grew up in a two-parent home, and my father taught me that a woman should go to college, pursue an education, and if you want a career, you can have a career because we speak about generational wealth and we speak about how you can be an attribute to the man that you're dealing with. And a woman, a lot of times, that isn't focused or goal oriented on having an education or having a career, she can be a detriment to her husband. So I think it can be very beneficial to make those some priorities.
And other reason, I could kind of agree with that too, because I do feel like a lot of women who be mainly gold diggers and stuff, like if you notice them be the women that be thirsty not to work or bring any type of substance. But I don't agree that you should, which what you were saying, Trev, you know, just avoid it with work. You know, if you want to get married, go out there, do the work, make the
Yeah.
mistakes, you know, talk to people who are in marriage, you know, do something active, you know, if you know that's what your end goal is. And I think, you know, if the opportunity comes up and you see somebody, get to know him, give him a chance if he seems, you know.
I'll go as far as
The
saying
gold
this.
digger almost
I'm
sound
gonna
like
go. I'm gonna go as far as saying this. If you are not built to balance a marriage and school or working in the beginning, you ain't built for marriage because you're gonna run into a lot of trials and tribulations. My marriage isn't that easy, right? There's a lot of things that are going to have to deal with. There's a lot of decisions you're going to have to make. You're going to be constantly bombarded with challenges. Raising children, that's a different ball game, and a lot of people are doing that by themselves. I understand it, but it makes it easier with the parent, but it's still tough. There's a lot of decisions you got to make. There's going to be place where you want to be located, right? And when you start having to put children before you and living in neighborhoods because they have a good school system, making tough choices, whether we should buy this house or that house. Can we afford this? Damn, the car broke down again. Like, there's a bunch of things that just happen. Life is going to happen to you. So if you can't get into marriage because you trying to balance something else and it's giving you problems, then you probably might want to consider if you are even ready for marriage. And when you think about it, the people who have that mindset are typically not getting married today.
No, but I can say when my friends decide to make sure they're stable first, they do get a better pool of men. That's one thing I can say. When they do
And
take that break and say, I'm not focused on this right now because I'm coming from a traumatic spot, let me do something that makes me be confident and love myself. So now that I'm loving myself correctly, I can see the difference and I can see that this man is not loving me correctly because that's not how I would love myself. You know, sometimes that break is
did you
necessary.
mention gold digger earlier?
Oh my gosh, yes, Bruiser. I don't remember in what
I would
context,
argue. I
but
would
I'm
argue.
pretty sure
I
we're
think
going
I could
to
make a
that.
case. I think I could make a case that the gold digger is probably a better option than the modern woman.
It
Number
depends.
one, she gonna do whatever you want her to do. She gonna cook. She gonna clean. She gonna fuck. She gonna suck. She not gonna try to be a leader.
That sounds like Satan to me.
She not gonna try to be a leader. She's not gonna argue with you over authority in a relationship. She gonna play her role so long as she's taken care of. The
We
modern
see women
woman,
do that.
she ain't gonna divorce you because you and unless you run out of all your money or some shit like that, or you can't keep them credit cards going. And yeah, she peeling off.
that
But
same
the
woman will
modern
also
woman,
leave you.
she don't give a damn if you bringing her money. She don't give a damn if you running the household. Once her emotions get involved or some shit like that, or she feel like she can't make the decisions and shit, she gonna pull the trigger on the fucking relationship.
Yeah,
So
that
why would
same
she be the
woman,
better
that
one?
same that
So
Why
same
would
I
gold
she be
said
digger
the
I
will
said the
also
not
gold
me?
leave
digger.
you.
I said the gold digger
Why
today
would
is a
she be
better
the
option.
better one?
Right. That
The,
same
the
woman will
gold digger don't
probably
give a
leave
damn about
you.
their emotions. She don't
But
give
what
a
she
damn
does
about none of that shit.
what
Yes,
she
dear.
does
As
give a
long as you
damn
got that
about.
credit card coming, you got that line, and she taken care of.
All right.
Do whatever you want, whatever you like.
All right. That same woman will also leave you for a man with more money. So I think the money is the priority, not the love or the care for you specifically. It's about your pockets. So I
That's
mean, if that's what you think is a better option, you
That's
go
how I
for
feel
it.
for men who be dating women off looks. Like they like, you getting older, you looking. I'm like, okay, well,
But
shit.
you
Yeah,
know
I
the
mean, I
funny
think
thing
it
about it though,
depends on the
Stacey.
substance that you're looking for from a woman.